Well, hello there. Welcome to Mind Your Business with Darlene P. Lewis. My name is Darlene P. Lewis, and I am the founder and CEO of Economic Solution Services, Inc. I know it's a mouthful, so ESSI for short. Ta-da! So, it's been a while, and I hope that you've been minding your business. So today I have the honor of having a great guest with me, and he's going to be talking about a topic that I know we all need in any industry, and especially individuals. If you're going to take on a job, if you're going to just do it for yourself to see what's out there, what's going on. If you want to know, you got to tune in. Again, this was Darlene with Economic Solution Services, Inc. And our show is called Mind Your Business. How can you reach me? 561-877-4662. Also, you can come by our new location at 1375 Gateway Boulevard, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33426. Yes, we've moved. You will love our new spot. Come by and check it out. We'll be back in a few minutes.
You're watching Channel 11.7 Jaspo TV, Port St. Lucie, Florida, Haitian American television on the move.
Welcome back to Mind Your Business with Darlene P. Lewis. Again, I told you this afternoon, this evening, whatever time you're watching this or listening to this presentation, that we have a great topic for you. I know you're curious, you're wondering, because normally I give you clues. I tell you what we're going to talk about, but today I will let my guest, my special guest, tell you more of what we're going to talk about. So let me introduce to you the Honorable Paul Hussey. Paul, introduce yourself.
As Darlene said, my name is Paul Hussey, part owner of Essential Fingerprinting. My partner, unfortunately, is not here, Steve Stevens. But again, the company is Essential Fingerprinting. And I have the honor of being in the same building as Darlene. The address, 1375 Gateway Boulevard, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33426.
So Paul, should we keep them in suspense, or should we tell them what we're going to talk about?
I'd say go for it.
Go for it? Okay.
Yes.
So what are we going to talk to you about today? It is so important. In fact, it is imperative that you know what's going on with your identity. This is the end of the year. We've got tax season coming up. We have the holidays. Everybody's shopping online now. We have all these cards that you just scan. You don't even have to have your cards present. Sometimes you could just key in your number. Some of the department stores, if you don't have your card with you, you give your phone number or some identifiable information, and they can pull up and put charges on your card on your behalf. Guess what? That is great. It's convenient. However, what comes with that convenience is identity theft. Someone out there could be buying a house under your name, your social security, with all of your information. In fact, they may have more information about you than you have about yourself. So Paul, why are you here, and how can we help prevent some of this issue?
Well, a part of the identity theft it's actually involving the research on the individuals. So for example, we do background checks for a range of clients. A primary use we're seeing right now is for the level 2 background screening, and that is done for individuals that are getting into the healthcare field.
Okay.
So we have that as well. We do the FBI background check. And that, of course, as it says, it's the FBI, so it's a federal check. Then we also provide the fingerprint cards. Some employers, they're requiring their employees or potential employees to have a fingerprint card with them, and they themselves will in turn do the checks with the card.
Okay.
But Fingerprints, it's a segue into, as you're talking about,
Exactly.
which is how important it is with the taking care of
Your identity.
It's very important. These fingers, the fingerprints, your identity.
Yes.
Yes.
So what happens is a lot of times when we go somewhere, we don't even think twice about just divulging our information. Someone gives you a form or an application to apply for a gift card or to apply for anything. And we give them our date of birth, we give them our social security number, we give them our address, we give them our phone numbers, we give them our full legal names, initials and juniors and the thirds, so just the list goes on.
Yes.
But we don't even think twice about how are these people protecting your information. So I know you talked earlier about level 2. How many levels of checks can you do, or are there?
So we ourselves, we do the level 2, and that is a pretty in-depth check, background screening. So what that entails, so if somebody is getting hired on as an RN, CNA, HHA, prior to becoming hired, you have to do this check, and this is done through the FDLE.
Okay.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So they do a very extensive check, and then once they give you the stamp of approval, the OK stamp, then the employer will be able to go into that database and be able to pull it up and see their records. And this is very in-depth. It will show everying.
So when you
Nothing
say
is hidden.
in-depth, how in-depth are we talking?
Everything.
Wow.
Everything. If you you were arrested.
Okay, so traffic violations, arrest records.
Yes.
What about financials?
That we don't see that. We don't see
Okay.
the financials.
Okay.
If I needed that, I would.
You come to me. So it is so important. Like I was explaining to Paul earlier today, there's times that I'm doing inquiries or I'm just going through let's say I'm interested in doing a procedure or something that I want to pay out of pocket that my insurance is not covering. There's no need for me to give you my social security number on this application. So when I go into places and I go into offices, especially in the accounting industry, finance industry, and tax offices,
Right.
you see some of these tax offices, they're at Walmart or they are at what did I see? Not General. It's one of those dollar places.
Yes.
Dollar General.
Okay.
Yellow one. I
Yes.
remember the colors. And so I've gotten inquiries. They've sent me letters saying if I'm interested in having a staff member at these places. And I'm like, okay, so if I need to step away, am I locking up everything? Am I putting my computer to sleep like I do in my offices?
Right.
And I doubt it.
How secure?
How secure are these places?
Agreed.
I know they have some liability insurance which will help protect them, but you have to do your due diligence. So bouncing from place to place to place with your financial records so frivolously, and even jobs, employers, when you go and apply for a job, the person, unless the paperwork is going directly to the HR department, you're giving this to the secretary.
Yes.
There are people, I remember years ago, it was reported in Miami that there are a lot of tax offices that had runners. I don't know if that's the technical name they call them, but basically what they're doing is they were going to these doctors' offices or schools and stuff, and they said they'll give you $100 a pop if you gave them a list of names with phone number, with date of birth and
goodness.
social security
Oh my
numbers.
goodness.
So a lot of identity theft.
Yes.
And so when you do a background check, how secure, what are your procedures in your office? How do you protect the identity of your clients, not just the individuals who come to you, but also the companies?
All right, so that's a very fair question. So the client would walk in through the door. Of course, the information that's taken, it's on the software, and that software it cannot be extracted once we put it in. So let's say, for example, we're putting it in for somebody's doing a level 2 background check. They're becoming an HHA or a CNA, and they need to get their background checks done. The information is taken right there. It's put into the computer, and then it's locked. so nobody will ever have access to that again.
So you can't go back and amend the information.
No.
So
No, we
okay,
cannot.
okay. And so the information is transferred encrypted. What is it?
Exactly. It
Okay,
is.
so it's encrypted.
To the Florida Department of Law Enforcement up in Tallahassee.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So what about the tangible paper file that you keep at your office? Don't you keep any tangible?
No.
So everything's
No.
electronic?
Everything's electronic.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if somebody steals the laptop or steals the computer,
They'll have to be able to get to sign into the program.
Okay.
So once if a client, as soon as a client is done, we have to log out.
okay.
So it's never just it's never on.
Okay, so is there's timeout session? Like let's say you're taking too long with the client, would it time you out?
Well, the computer itself is going to lock out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
That's good.
Yes.
All right. I didn't know that. So now I feel more confident. But anyways, the point that we're making is we as business owners, you come to us, you trust us with your information. Now, I know with IRS, we have due diligence, we have requirements that we have to have 2 to 3 levels of, I don't remember what the language is exactly, but your file has to be locked. So for example, when you come to our office, you come through the front door, that door is locked. Then you come to my office, my door is locked. Then you come to the file cabinet, so that door is locked. But then we even go a couple steps further on our computers. Each of our computers have a different password. And everybody has their own password. So let's say I go from my computer to another computer, I can log in with my criterias only, my
Right.
user ID and password.
Makes
and then
sense.
we have to change that, I want to say every 3 to 6 months.
Yes.
So it's a lot of passwords going on. So these are the levels that we are doing. And then we have spamware, spyware, malware. We have all these wares you can think about that we pay a company also to monitor it. And then we're also having our documentation, every information that we get from you, scan. See, you're not getting all this stuff for your clients, thank God. You don't have the headache. But we have your ID, we have your federal ID. Sometimes we have some immigrants, so we have their passports, we have their resident alien cards,
Wow.
we have social security, date of birth, we have birth certificates, we have a lot of things.
Yes.
So I hope you're finding this information helpful. I hope you took out a notebook and you are going to get Paul's information so that you can reach out to him to do a background check on yourself. Because I'm about to do that just to find out what's going on. What do the government has that I don't know about? Okay, so Paul, give them your information if they need to reach you.
Again, the number is 954-303-1329. 954-303-1329. Anytime, 24 hours a day, you can call that number and we will schedule an appointment. Looking forward to having you come into the office. And of course, we're going to be doing yours.
Yes, we want to find out what's going on with me.
Yes.
What does the government know about me that I don't know about myself? But we'll be right back after a few minutes and we will dive a little deeper. So you're listening and you're watching Mind Your Business with Darlene Pierre Lewis. And I am Darlene Pierre Lewis with Economic Solution Services, Inc., located at 1375 Gateway Boulevard, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33426. And you can reach us at 561-877-4662. We'll be right back.
You're watching Channel 11.7 Jaspo TV, Port St. Lucie, Florida, Haitian American television on the move.
Welcome back to Mind Your Business with Darlene Pierre Lewis. I know you missed us, but we're back. I am Darlene Pierre Lewis. I am with Economic Solution Services, Inc., located at 1375 Gateway Boulevard, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33426. You can reach us at 561-877-4662. I have my special guest with me, Paul Hussey, and he will give you his information so you can reach out to him. Paul?
954-303-1329. And again, it's the same address, 1375 Gateway Boulevard, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33426.
So what's the name of your business?
So we also have the healthcare Essential Healthcare of Florida.
Okay.
Yes.
So is that why you got into the whole?
Yes. Yes, it was.
So it's connected.
Yes, there is a connection.
I like that. So explain the connection.
So the healthcare business, what we do, we provide aides, CNAs, HHAs, caregivers to our primarily elderly clients. And each one of the aides, caregivers that we have on staff, they required a background check. And so we thought it made more sense for us to be doing it ourselves. Why go outside?
Okay.
Right. So we started the fingerprinting. Again, I know the name. It's Essential Fingerprinting, and Essential Healthcare. Those are the two primary businesses.
Okay. So earlier we said when we came back we were going to dig deeper. So I'm going to dig deeper because, I'm a woman of my word. That's what we do. We keep our word. So we've already told you how it is imperative that you make sure that you're taking care of the information that you have disseminating out there. We give our information too frivolously. Just because someone asks for it doesn't mean they are entitled to it. You give them the basic information that they need in order to do what it is that they need to do. When you have to give your date of birth and you have to give your social, then you do that. But you want to make sure that they're keeping that documentation protected. So in our industry, as an accounting and financial and insurance firm, we find out that we go through a great extent as even Post-its. Even if we're on the phone call and we take someone's information down, we shred everything. So I know with Paul, when someone comes to you or a company calls you and say they're sending over 5, 6, 7, 20 of their potential staff members to be fingerprinted, you have that information, you just taking just name. You're not taking their social and date of birth and all that stuff until they physically come to see you.
That is correct.
But when they come to see you, you're not even writing that stuff down because all that stuff goes into your secured, encrypted platform.
That is
awesome.
correct.
But now on the other side, your other business, the Essential Healthcare.
Right. So we have clients, and of course we have a lot of information, sensitive information. So that we have that secured. It's a double lock and key.
Okay.
Yes. We have to be protective of that.
And how do you go about protecting that?
So we have essentially we have a cabinet within a cabinet.
Okay.
So we have their information. We have folders, files with their information. It's secured in one cabinet, which in turn is then secured in another cabinet.
Nice.
So if you get past one, you still have to work on getting on the other one. But where we are, it's very secure.
Our building is very secure.
Yes, very secure.
Yes.
You have to go past the front
desk, receptionist.
Yes, you can't just walk back there. So there's that added security as well.
And then there's cameras everywhere. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes, all over. So again, another layer of security as well. But it's on us to make sure that our clients' information is protected at all times.
So what happens if there's a breach? Let's say someone passes the front desk receptionist. Let's say they're going to the restroom and they go through the main part of the building and they make their way to your building, to your office, which is locked, but it's not locked.
Right.
So let's say you left it ajar or you thought it was locked and it's not locked. And during the day you're working in your files, you're in and out. Are they kept locked? I mean, how does that work?
At all times. The cabinets are locked at all times. Once you retrieve whatever document that's required or needed, then we in turn we lock the cabinets.
Good. So it's basically the same procedure that we use with our file cabinets in our office. So I don't know if you all are really understanding the care that we are putting into protecting your documents.
Yes.
That's the same desire that you need to have in protecting your information because identity theft exists. Our credit department that handles credit restoration and credit repair, we find that all the time. Your name has to be spelled correctly, consistently, all the time. My last name is Pierre-Louis, L-O-U-I-S, not L-U-I-S. So when I see any material that comes to my mail with L-U-I-S, I don't even respond to it. Now you're going to get a lot of inquiries with credit cards with your name. Like they'll send it to me, Darlene Lewis or Darlene Pierre. It's not correct. Reach out to the company, because there might be another Darlene Lewis or Darlene Pierre, not at this address where I'm at, but somewhere. And so that person could be fraudulently trying to get something under your name. The annual credit report used to be once a year. Now you can get it since COVID. I believe it's every week or every month, if I'm not mistaken.
I did not know that.
But it's free.
That's good to know.
Yes, it's free.
Wow.
So go there, go to the annual credit report, get your free credit report, read everything. If you didn't have a credit card with Sears, well, Sears is closed now, but if you didn't have a credit card with Sears, call them. It is their responsibility to prove that you are the one who actually applied for that. So that's why I had to bring Paul here, because what you do is so important. When you do these background check for these agencies, so if I have an elderly parent and I have a caretaker, a CNA, HHA, or LPN coming to care for my elderly parent at their house, that elderly parent is probably not mobile. So this person has free reign of their house. So then now we're going to go to you. Do your due diligence. Don't leave your mail just sitting on the kitchen counter or on the dining room table when you have somebody coming to take care of your house, or if you have somebody coming to clean. Get a safe. It's not that expensive. Put those important documents, birth certificates, social security card, credit cards, put them in a safe. If you ever call a credit card company and you say there's something, oh, I didn't make this charge, the first thing they ask you is, do you have the card in your possession? Because you probably dropped it, you probably lost it. Yes. Or you probably, especially now when you have to read the chip readers, it takes forever to read the chip. It's supposed to be faster. So I hope this information was very helpful. And like I said, if you have any questions for Mr. Hussey, please give him a call. The name of your business, where you're located, and how can they reach you?
Essential Fingerprinting, Essential Healthcare, 954-303-1329. Again, 954-303-1329, 1375 Gateway Boulevard, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33426.
Awesome. I thank you for being here with us.
I thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So my name is Darlene Pierre Lewis with Economic Solution Services, Inc. You are watching Mind Your Business with Darlene Pierre Lewis, and we are located at 1375 Gateway Boulevard, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33426, and our phone number is 561-877-4662. I hope this information was very helpful, because I know that I am very protective of my identity, and you should be the same. You should guard your identity. Do not frivolously give your information. Do not bounce from place to place and just freely give your information out, because information is power. Thank you very much for watching and for listening to Mind Your Business with Darlene Pierre Lewis.